Hello, wonderful people out there. Marotopia. My name is Marc and Robert, and this is
Robert Babic.
Robert.
One day I know how it works. This is my good friend Marc, and together we do this show called
Marotopia. Hey,
Welcome.
Robert, how do you do? Are you in a Christmas
I'm fine.
mood?
Almost. I have a Christmas tea with probably you saw this already from a great album from a guy who does music. He made this.
Yeah, and some breaking news. The album Utopia is sold out on vinyl. There is no copy left. They are all gone. Only available on Discogs anymore. So what have you done all week? Tell us how was your week?
My week was kind of busy, to be honest. I had a lot of work with my students. A few one-to-one calls and my groups. We are working on music. Actually, I feel like a teacher at the moment because I'm helping so many people. So welcome, Robert. I'm your teacher. But anyway, I of course I also do music, and that's it.
Oh,
for now.
And 2 days ago, I wrote you on WhatsApp, and then you wrote me that you have no power anymore. What happened in Malta? Do you know more now?
We had this hardcore power cut. It was from 3 p.m. to 7 a.m. next morning. And the whole, at least my area was, off the grid. No information. Nobody talks about things. And on the same day, my credit card got hacked. Maybe I bought, because sometimes I buy plugins with my credit card. Maybe one of the guys got hacked. I don't know. Exactly on that day, my bank told me, "Hey, Robert, here's something going on," because there was money going away from my card without I accepting this. And then the power just cut down. And I thought, okay, the world is coming to an end. But no, I just was going to the bed, made some candles on, and waited.
And how many hours in total? 12, 14?
Like I said, 3 p.m. to 6 a.m. next morning. My math is very bad, so please calculate.
Sounds like 15 hours. That's a long time. Wow.
Oh, yes. And that means like no power at all. And I used my the battery of my laptop to charge my phone, like with the last possible energy. It was funny. And I bought more candles now. So to be happy.
So that means
I'm going to play some music tonight. Yeah, there will be music from me tonight, but also the main music is coming from our guest tonight, but more to this later.
Okay, first of all, very important, like always, we should promote our Discord server, right?
Yeah, for the guys and girls and non-binaries and aliens, please visit our Discord server
Yeah,
because
here
we
it
have
is.
a cool community going on, a lot of talks. You can hear music that is nowhere else.
Yeah.
And it's
And
it's a cool community. So welcome to everyone. I see a lot of names here on the side of this. Welcome.
yeah, and our assistant Andre, who is acting behind the scenes, he can please copy paste the latest Discord invitation link into the comments, please. So yeah, it's quite active there. It's always fun to have a look. I do this 2-3 times a day, and besides bald heads, there was one very interesting, very interesting topic.
Yeah, maybe open because we have this thing, funny things. Mark, maybe you go on our memes area and show one funny meme. And because I'm sad, I will never be part of this label.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure there are also people with hair on the label. I've never checked it out, but yeah, where's it coming from, by the way?
Phone stuff on the internet.
Wow.
You know, on the internet there are things. Some things are not there to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Discord server is pretty active. We have different channels where people can write everything they want, and yeah, it was pretty active this last week. And I saw that there was a discussion about this entire Spotify situation and its influence to club music. And I think it was you, Robert, who posted a video by a YouTuber called Venus Theory, right?
Yes. Yeah, I
And
think he made quite a nice video to this topic. People should watch this.
okay, can you quickly summarize what he said?
Oh, actually, he was making some questions. If it's right what we are doing, is the system somehow forcing us to create music in a certain way, to behave in a certain way? And at the same time, it's our reality, and that we have to deal with what we have, right? I mean,
Yeah. So feel free to check out his video. There's a pretty dark problem with music production by Venus Theory. It's worth to watch it, and I would be very happy to read your comments and your opinions out there, dear Marotopians, in the comment section, because yeah, it's a very interesting topic, which is influencing all of us, everybody of us who's producing music nowadays.
but
And
sorry, Mark. Maybe let's ask the community: are our people streaming when they listen to music? Hello, you out there. Are you buying music, or are you listening on Spotify, iTunes, whatever? Would be interesting. Please post this in the comment.
yeah, please, because this is what Marotopia is about. And this is why we are also doing it, because we want to know your opinion about it. And
Yes.
I had a lot of discussions about the streaming services recently, and I learned that there are already a lot of electronic music labels around which release special edits under 4 minutes. Something like a radio cut. You would have called it radio cut back in the days. And these less than 4 minutes versions they produce especially for Spotify. And I also learned that there are already playlists of electronic music which only support tracks under 4 minutes. And what will it do with our music scene, the club scene, and with the music in general? What do you think about?
The thing is, I can understand. There are two. I was talking with my class yesterday, and there were some nice moments in this where, of course, imagine when you were back in the days in the 90s, when you were going to the record shop and you had your pack of records. I believe you were never putting on the records and listening the whole track. You were skipping, right?
In the record shop, not in the
record
club.
shop.
In the club, it would be not a good effect to do so.
Yeah, but
in
to
the record
find a
shop, you're
track
right.
that you in the club you had no choice. The DJ make the choice for you. But in the record shop, you were skipping the tracks. It's just a modern way of having the tracks in a short form, so you choose the one that you want to listen. And I mean, many tracks have a long intro, or the kick drum is running for just the basic kick drum is running for 1 minute. It can be boring. I can understand the reason. I personally love long tracks, and for me, it feels very difficult to break down my music to a 4 or less, or maybe, I mean, the super modern stuff is like 1 minute 50, 1 minute, you know. I personally have my problems, but we live in this modern world, and I challenge this. So I still do my. I think I released this year. I released on my Babel style a track that was 15 minutes. But maybe I experiment with shorter tracks as well. We will see. I love long tracks. But how do you think about this, Mark? How do you think?
Yeah, very, very good question. The thing is, I have the impression, and I think that's very, very interesting and exciting. There are two forces against each other at the moment, because I mean, when I arrange a track, I imagine how it will work in the club, of course. This is my main intention, and it's number one intention, and not Spotify. And I close my eyes and imagine how the track could work in the club. And I like repetitive music, which is hypnotic, and I love it, especially when I play at Watergate, a club where I play a lot and where people are really following me and my music. I see people with closed eyes just dancing like in trance. And this is also meditation, and this is what I really like. And if we vibe in the same way, which happens at Watergate at any time, it's a very nice feeling. And then the track can play for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. So now we have a different source, which is called Spotify, and I use it as well as Apple Music. But it's a different situation of listening to music. And I don't know what it does with us when just the track is played for 3 minutes 30 seconds.
But I just thought, is it not very elitist to think you just do music for a club? Because if you count just the people who listen to your music, you have gigs over the year. You play in certain clubs, maybe some festivals. But how many people listen in total on streaming service to your tracks? That's a way higher number. So we basically create music for the people who are not going into the club. In reality.
Yeah, but that's not relevant in the beginning when you are producing music. First of all, you produce your music for your own interest, and the rest
Of
comes
course, yeah.
automatically. And
But I mean, just as a reality that we create. I mean, I make my music for myself because I love what I do. And then I'm super happy that people like what I do, and sometimes I can play it out on a gig. But most people listening to my music at home or in the car or wherever, and not so many in the club. This is just a simple reality.
yes, but the music is mainly made for clubs. And when you are in the car listening to a SoundCloud mix, then you want to catch this club vibe. Because usually you go to a club to listen to electronic music. The club is the place where electronic music was born and is happening. And when I drive in my car and listen to a Bandcamp, not Bandcamp, send a SoundCloud link, then I want a certain club feeling in my car, to simulate it somehow.
Oh, okay. It's interesting because I'm not so focused on the club thing. I'm focused on the story of the song. Yeah, of course, when I do functional music, like more clubby, I think about, okay, how does it work from the groove? But most of the music that I do is just working because it's working.
Yeah, and there's also a development in EDM music. I mean, sometimes I listen to DJ sets from the likes of David Guetta or Fedde Le Grand or Skrillex when I'm playing at festivals, and I listened to all three of them in France and in Bali a few years ago, and when they play, okay, they play a lot of classics and bootlegs or edits of well-known tracks, but every track is felt played for 90 seconds. And this is also what's happening in EDM music at the moment, in commercial electronic music, that you can check it on Spotify. The versions are 2 minutes long, and I think that has nothing to do with club music anymore. It's somewhere else, but we play or we produce our music also for the clubs where people are in trance and listening to repetitive music. I mean that's my intention.
Yeah, but interesting enough, as I have grown-up kids. I had a talk with my son about this, and I asked him, "Hey, all these tracks that you are listening that you really like are like 1 minute 20, 1 minute 50. How can this work in a DJ set?" And he told me, Papa, the DJs just play every minute another track. Constantly. It's a constant flow, and it has to do because many famous DJs now do sets on even TikTok. There are many famous DJs doing TikTok DJ sets, and this has nothing to do with club, right?
No, this is true, but TikTok is maybe TikTok is mainly, first of all, a medium for an artist to reach the people. I mean, is electronic music happening mainly in the socials now? Question mark.
I think yes, really, and this is our reality. I talk, but we can ask our people here. I told you about this new style called funk, where they have millions of plays in the Spotify thing, and the tracks come from social media. They are in TikTok videos, in Instagram, in YouTube Shorts. The world is changing. Maybe we are getting old and we still dream of the club scene, but the young generation were now for 2 years at home. They learned to consume music not mainly in the club like we got introduced to this. They got introduced to electronic music with social media and live streams.
Yeah, but that's right. But still, I would say the club is the main place where this music can be consumed in the best way. And I have nothing against social media, and I think it has nothing to do with our age. It has simply to do with the matter of fact that it's a new way of communication, and it's a good way of communication. I mean, we are doing the same now. We are talking, and everybody in the world can join us if he or she wants. Uh, yeah, I don't know if okay, a different approach. If you're really into electronic music and you really understand the roots and you understand and feel the vibe and where it comes from, then you must realize that the best place to enjoy this music is the club. You can also enjoy this music on a festival, but that's already a bit different because it's you are together with 5,000 people and the club situation is not really realizable. And you can of course also listen in a streaming service, but maybe the streaming platform is just something like an appetizer that you get to know music and you have hunger for more, and then you can get to know Robert Babich on TikTok, and then you say, okay, he plays at this festival, I go there. So it can be coexistent, but the socials, including the streaming services, should in the best case not be the platform where people listen to it instead of being in a club.
Yeah. I mean, I say it a little bit harsh with this socials. Of course, I personally, for me, I love good music on a great sound system together with other people, and I like it even more if I'm on the stage and play some great Babich music. And can feel how it's going through the people. Of course, this is amazing, right? I mean, I love it. Marc loves it. This is the best place for our music, but still, most of the people in the world are listening to our music not in the club.
Yeah, but maybe
this
not
is just fact.
Yeah, but maybe people who are too young or too old or who don't understand this kind of music. But because if you understand this kind of music, then you go on Bandcamp, you go to a club, you buy records on Bandcamp, etc., etc. And this is what, when you really understand this kind of music, when you can feel this kind of music, and also when you can appreciate the substance of an artist. I mean, when I listen to you, I know that you have a certain substance and that you have a history and a discography which is very long and full of substance. And I also have the choice to check something which is more artificial. But if I dive deep into it, then I must come to the point where I say, okay, this artist has some substance. So why not checking this artist now on Bandcamp or buying some records or visiting him at Watergate or Harry Klein or Rex or Fabric? And yeah, this is the minority, but maybe it's good that we talk about it so that more and more people understand that it's more than just listening to this music on streaming services and SoundCloud.
You know, what's interesting is it feels like we are arguing
No, not at all.
about this.
No, I don't feel like
just because in the end we are on the same boat, of course. Like we love.
No, it's not arguing. It's analyzing. And what I want to do, I had a chat with Timo Maas the other day, and we talked about this topic also a lot. And he agreed when we said that that maybe it's our part to communicate more where we are coming from and why we are doing this and what it means to us. And maybe some people who get to know electronic music through social media, they don't know at the moment. I'm pretty sure that Marotopians know about the philosophy and spirit behind it, but of course not everyone. And maybe we should more talk about it so that the people who don't know start to realize, instead of just accepting the situation and doing nothing.
Actually, it would be interesting. We should bring our guest in, but
Yes.
would be interesting what how our Marotopians think about this topic.
Yeah, please leave it in the comments.
Maybe please leave some comments, and we should bring our amazing guest from France into our show, because
and we should ask him as well. So we hardly welcome today in our episode Nicolas Masseyeff from Antibes and France. Bonsoir.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hello, hello.
How are
so
you?
Everything is fine for you? Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really good. It's a pleasure to be with you guys. It's a funny thing. So it's cool.
Yeah, have you followed our discussion? What do you think about the entire Spotify situation?
I was following your discussion. It was really interesting for me. So what can I say? I love long tracks, to be honest. If I have to be sincere, I love long tracks because it's a whole story. And also I'm a DJ, and when I'm playing tracks, the main tracks, I'm only playing it like for 5 minutes, because between and after and at the beginning, I'm mixing it. So for me, it's really important like to have a tracks around like maybe 6:30, 7 minutes. It's really good for me. Even longer if the tracks is like a nice odyssey or whatever. But like I think for our music to have like short tracks, I don't know. Not sure about it.
Yeah, but what is your feeling behind it? When you see that labels are already delivering tracks under 4 minutes in order to to be gentle to Spotify and to be played more.
Okay.
Would you support it, or would you say this is not what we want?
Okay. So I have to be honest, sometimes I did tracks and people was asking me some edits for Spotify to be on the lines. And honestly, I said no, I can't. You know, you have your main ID, you have your main tracks. So, okay, you do edits, you cut a bit the way you did your music, but it's not your track. It's another track. So if Spotify has this decision for us, I'm pretty sure that in electronic music, guys will focus on another platform. You know? Because as the scene always did, you know, when it was too much on the line, we were always finding some other stores, like all the underground stores for record shop, where I was younger. When I was younger, I was buying music in a special record store only for electronic music, And I had a record store by the past, so I can tell you a lot about this. So I was not selling hip hop, rock, or whatever. I was only selling electronic music, and customers were coming in the store only for that. So I guess if people who loves electronic music will not find like their gems or what they love on Spotify anymore, they will change. It's my position. You know?
Okay. What about the idea to see Spotify just as a promotion platform? Because I mean, we cannot be always in the club. I mean, we are in the club or at parties at weekends. Couldn't we see the streaming services just as a promotion tool in order to make people more curious to listen to our music?
Okay, so Spotify is not a promotion services for us, I guess, because I have a lot of friends who's just listening the same playlist still years.
Okay.
No, but we have to understand this. Spotify is not a way to discover the music as you go to listening radio shows, or it's not the same. Like I have friends, when I go to their car, when we are traveling together, I said, shit, you are still listening the same playlists in years? He said, yes, I have no time to search on Spotify. There is so many tracks, whatever, it's too complex to find the music I love. So sometimes I'm following like big playlists, and I go from time to time, pick some tracks, and I put in my library. But it's not the same, you know?
The thing is, I went on the database of the digital distributor of Systematic and checked where currently the money is coming from. And I think Robert will agree when I say that approximately 90% of the income from a track is coming from Beatport and Spotify, and 10% the rest.
I know. Because
what does it mean for us?
I mean for us, that we're earning a bit of money with Spotify, and this is all the rules and the game is now. But it's more because Spotify did an amazing job when they were selling contracts for sales phones. It was free at the beginning, and they sold so many subscription and in the world, and they are leading the world with their services. So we have to work with that. But honestly, if you ask me to do shortest track to be on Spotify, I'm not an artist anymore for that. You know, it's not.
Back in the days, people made radio cuts.
Yeah,
but it was for the radio, and now it's Spotify edits or streaming edits.
So for me, it's a bit like, okay, if it's like you do artwork like a paint, and you said no, you cannot this big because it won't fit on my wall. You know, like I do what I have in mind and what I want to do. You know, like if change the house for my art or whatever. You know, like no, it's a bit. It's something I really don't like, to be honest. You know, it's not. Because in some tracks you have some developments and you have some story to tell, and it takes some time sometimes to bring an instrument, or you know, like if you listen to jazz music, some tracks in jazz are really long. Also, in classical music, like if you see all the different part they did to develop their music in classical music, it's not 3 minutes. Like,
yeah, and one more funny thing is, if the streaming services are not around anymore in, let's say, 10 or 15 years, then you maybe just have the edits and you don't have
the full work,
which are fitting to the club. But Robert wants to say something.
Yes, I was muted. I have a technical question. Maybe it's a little bit off from this topic, but these days I'm not a DJ, yeah. So I only talk about what I saw. You have this modern CD player or USB thing players, and they can have you can make loops, and you can create like parts, mark parts inside the song and rearrange the song. So are you using this
Okay.
to
Yes, when
create
I
longer versions or making your own mixes out of a track that exists?
okay, to be honest, I love to edit tracks. Sometimes I'm playing tracks from other artists, but I don't like a part. So I go in Ableton or Logic, whatever, just cut it and do my own way for it. But also with the CDG players, I always play a lot of different loops that I prepare with Record Box or whatever. And yes, I'm using it a lot here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because maybe Spotify is also just a person which wants to listen to the track in a shorter way, and we just should let it go and just should let it happen. I mean, look at SoundCloud. People are doing their edits, and if they make an edit of, let's say, your album track Ice Raven, which is, I don't know, 7 minutes long, and they do a 2-minute 50 edit, they can just do it and nobody can disturb them.
Yes, but it won't be Ice Raven anymore. It will be Ice Cube. You know, like
Yeah,
Magic.
true.
Yeah, you know, like so. Now I think we have to let the systems goes and to adapt. You know, we always did since years to everything, and maybe it will change also our creativity, because we are used to do tracks for 7, 6, or whatever minutes. But maybe if the system is working like that, we will change our creativity. So maybe I'm a bit against that now, but in 10 years, I would say, yeah, it was fun finally.
Yeah, something very funny is that when I started to collect 7-inch records as a child, I had a lot of records from the 50s and 60s, from Beatles, Rolling Stones, Elvis, and the versions were all 2 minutes long. And I always thought that this time would not come back again. And now this time is back, because exactly when you check commercial tracks on streaming services, they are all more or less 2 minutes long. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like if you're listening to movies for music movies, like they're using, like sometimes it's really short. Like you have 1 minute and 30 seconds, or yeah. But you can still have like emotions, even if it's short. But we are doing dance music, so it's a bit tricky, you know.
Yeah, but where is it coming from? Is it from that we are a swiping generation these days? Also with music, with Tinder, with TikTok?
No.
We are just doing this because we cannot focus on anything longer than 8 seconds, say 8 seconds anymore.
I just see my son. My son, he has no mobile, so from time to time he's taking mine, and he's just swiping all the time. It's going really fast until he finds something that he likes. So when he finds something that he likes, he can watch it like few times the same, but then go and swap until he finds something else. Like, I was never doing this when I was a kid. We had books, we had records, take the records, put it on the sleeve, taking care of it, you know. I don't know. It's different. It's completely
It's
different.
True. Robert wants to say something.
Okay, I was muted. No, actually, I thought about our viewer. Maybe we have to introduce Nicolas a little bit and what he's doing. Maybe not everyone knows what our special guest is doing, and would be great if you can introduce yourself a little bit.
Okay, so I'm Nicolas Masseyeff. I'm a French guy. I am 47 years old, and I discovered the electronic music in '89, back in the days. So it's a long time ago, and I felt in love the first time I was listening this kind of music, and I never stopped buying any records from these days. I had a record store. I'm a DJ still, and I'm doing music since 2005. I think my first records came out. I was doing a bit of music before, and I also run a label with Oxia called Diversion, and I did my last album on Marc's label called Endless.
Yes, just out.
Yeah,
And
just fresh.
okay, you say 1989, you were 14, 15 at this time.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
was there a special moment where electronic music really caught you? Was it a party or a track or
Okay.
a
So
situation?
as I remember, I had a tape in my hand from a friend or my brother. I don't know. I had a tape in my hand, and at this time I was listening a lot of hip hop, like Rakim, the Beastie Boys, all this kind of old stuff, hip hop, and a lot of rock also. And when I was listening this, I said, "Oh my God, it's so fresh for my ears. What is this?" You know. And then I was asking friends, and they told me, "Yes, maybe you can find this kind of music at this place." So I went in Nice. I remember it was an old store called La Sorbonne, and I bought my first record vinyl. I think is somewhere here on Warlock. It was a Todd Terry. I remember still. And since I was buying like house, techno, hardcore, every kind of music, I was already really eclectic, and I was like, okay, I found my goal, and I felt in love really with electronic music.
And was there a certain track which really electrified you, where you said, "Oh my God"? So I can give you an example. For me, it was when I was 11 years old. I bought Computer World by Kraftwerk, and
Yeah.
I played numbers, and I thought that I was somewhere else. So it was like that I was in a science fiction. Although I was in my room, I listened to numbers on my stereo, teased my mom with being far too loud, and I was like, I felt like standing in a science fiction movie myself. Do you have a track like this which really caught you?
Okay, at this time, if I had a track like this, honestly, I can't remember because it's too old for me, and I was like buying records at this time. I was like eating them. I was always every week going and buy and buy and buy and buy and changing all the time, and came back later on the same records. Like, I was playing them like a few months later again. Few months later, I was like playing them again and discover them again. But if you ask me now for a track, wow, it's so hard as a question, like really difficult for me. Really, which one I could say?
Too many to mention, with other words.
Yeah.
Because we had Alex Kidd in the show a few weeks ago, and he mentioned, for example, Daft Punk. So
Yes,
I
but
mean,
Daft Punk came for me much later. You asked me for the beginning, like yes, if I had to give you a title of a track that I really love, and I'm still listening to it like really often, it could be Atlas from Carl Craig. I love this track. It's one of my all-time favorites. And yes, it's I think it's from 1995 or 96. I don't know, a bit later, man. But I love this track. Like, it's the one it came to me right now. Yeah.
And when did you start to produce music? I mean, there's always a step between being a consumer of records and electronic music and also playing them in a club. And then a lot of people, of course, go the step and say, okay, now it's time to run a studio to make own music. How was this step for you? Was it difficult
So
or easy?
so my first sampler, I bought it in 98. It was MU Easy 4000, the first one. It was really expensive at this time if you wanted to have the cards and everything inside. And I was sequencing it with a Yamaha Q Y700. Like, it's something like you cannot find anywhere and like super tricky to do techno or whatever. So yes, I start like that, and I still bought like a few scenes at this time and did my own things. And then after I forgot the Yamaha shit, bought an Atari and sequencing with the Atari, and it came like from 98 to 2005 to produce my first song out. I was doing music for like shows and everything, and like my friend Oxia was telling me like every month, like, what are you fucking doing with all your tracks you did? You can put it out everywhere. Why you're not doing it? But I was not really satisfied about my music by myself, so I was not releasing it. They are still somewhere on DAT. I have to to check, yeah, but maybe one day, you know.
So Oxia, he's your friend, and you're running this label Divergence together. So for how long are you friend, and how did you meet?
So we met in 95.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's a long friend because we are not
10
living in
years
the same.
before I met him. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like, we met in 95 in Cannes because I had a record store, and they had Midem, you know, Midem, like the big
Of course.
congress we had back in the days. So we met there, and we became really good friends. He's even the godfather of my son, so my son's godfather. So yes, we are really close, and it's a really true friendship story we have together.
Cool. But he's from Grenoble, right? And you are from Nice area.
Yeah. I mean, now I'm living in Antibes between Cannes and Nice, and he's living in Grenoble with between 400 and 500 kilometers from here.
Okay, let's make a bow again to your album and also about the streaming services again,
Yeah.
because the question today which popped up when we had our brief meeting before the show was the topic making an album and why making an album. And a lot of people would say when it comes to the topic album, they would maybe say, yeah, but in the age of streaming services, uh, why shall I make an album with 12 tracks? I rather release these 12 tracks all separately as 12 different singles. So what was your intention and your feelings to say, okay, it's after 10 years, it's time again to produce an album for
Okay.
you personally?
So okay, as you said, I did another album like 11 years ago now on Stefan Bodzin label, Herzblut, and it was like a true story for me, and developed the story inside the album and made the track. And I had the idea a bit before the lockdown to do a few tracks only with the same equipment. Said I will use this one, and this synth again. So I use like the Prophet 12, the Oberheim, the OB6, the Sub 37, and the Matrix Brut behind there. And I said, okay, let's do music only with this, and use drum machine or samples for the rest. And I wanted only to stay with this equipment, and no more. And that was my main idea. And said, okay, what can you do with these four things? and to keep your vibe with all your mood with different type of tracks. And I said, okay, I can only do this on an album, because if I do it on tracks per tracks, it will not fit together as it's doing with an album. So I said, okay, let's do another one, and I do it simply. And I wanted to do it like in a way that we can listen, but not only, because as you know, I'm really eclectic. I love house, down tempo, techno, and tech house. I'm really eclectic, you know. I learned the techno with Laurent Garnier in France, and I grew up not only with one style. So I kept this in my blood. It's my genetic for electronic music, and I'm really proud of it. And I love to listen like many different artists. And I think in electronic music you have like some good music in every style. And I said, okay, let's play this game on an album, because this is the only way to do it. You know?
And is there a story behind the album? The album is called Endless. So why the name Endless? And is there a certain story? So when you listen to all tracks in one go, then
so I was looking for the name of the album with my girlfriend, and I was speaking with her, and I was thinking, okay, I want to fix the time, you know, with all this equipment, because maybe in the future I won't do music with this equipment again. I mean, in this way where I was using it. And I wanted to fix the time. Like, this is now, and I want to do music that I can listen to it again in like maybe 10 years or I don't know, 5-6 years. But I don't want them to be like other track I did. I wanted to have them in a special box, you know. And so we were talking about the name, and she found the name, to be honest. And I was like, yes, it's really beautiful. It's a beautiful name. It's exactly the way I want to put all these tracks together. And I was speaking with Oxia also a lot about it. And he said, yes, but why you don't do your artwork with your brother also, because he's an artist, and this way you can really fix the time all together. And I thought the idea was like so magical, you know, because it was like something really spontaneous. And he said, okay, let's go. And when I spoke to you, you said, yes, the idea is really nice. I love it. So let's do it, you know. And it was like something like really fluid and really funny, you know.
Yeah, big pleasure and honor to have the possibility to release the album. Robert, are you still around?
Yeah, I'm listening. Usually I talk too much. Actually, because I didn't heard the album yet, can we hear something?
Yeah.
Now I'm super curious. Actually, I'm super curious.
Yeah. I think we should listen to a track, and then Robert has for sure some questions to Nico, because what we should tell the people is that you guys haven't known each other, right? You know who you are.
Of course, but, I know music from Robert for years. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, but
I never met himself. No.
But you haven't met before, right? So, Robert,
yes, right.
Write down the questions, and now we listen to some music.
Okay. Was this
Was
done during COVID time? It sounds like that. It sounds to me like you were somehow lost and trying to find what's going on. You're muted. Wait, Mark. Okay, now. No.
Okay.
No. Sorry.
So yes, this track was done exactly during COVID. Yeah. Full COVID time. I was in the studio and I decided to do this song with this vocal behind, who is not really saying something, but saying something. And I really wanted to finish it like that. I cannot hear you anymore.
Mark, you're mute. Mark is muting all of us. There was a vocal. Did we hear the same?
Yeah. You have it in the yeah, but it's in the background. Yeah, you have it only in the breaks. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Wait just a minute. Victor, tu peux aller ailleurs, s'il te plaît? Yeah.
real life.
Yeah. My son is playing just close to me, and like I cannot hear anything, you know.
Yeah, all good. There is one very interesting question here. So Marc Andre is asking, why isn't that track on the vinyl? How do you choose which one makes it when there's not enough place for the entire album? So please tell the people something about behind.
Okay, so I think I have an album here. So as you see, we couldn't put all the 12 tracks on the album. So we had to make a decision with Marc to select the track that we will put on vinyl and the ones we won't put on it. We didn't. So the idea, as I'm still a DJ inside of Masseyeff, was to put the tracks, the more dance floor tracks on it, you know, the one that you can play for DJs, because as you know, these days vinyl is more the people who's buying vinyls right now in electronic music are more DJs than collectors than back in the days, you know. So we thought it was the best to do, but I'm really sad to have that we don't have Amethyst on the vinyl, to be honest.
Me too.
But I can't do anything. So yeah, there is someone here who wants to say hello. You know, we are really live. My son, who's always with me, and normally at this time I'm always with him. And now he said to me like, "Hey, Daddy, what are you doing? I miss you tonight." So he's with me, you know.
Can you ask him a question?
Yes.
Can you ask him when the first collaboration is coming between you and him?
We already do. We are doing a remix from Naruto. You know, the shows for kids. He loves Naruto, and last time he came to me and said, "Daddy, can we do a remix of this song?" So we're already working on that. It's so funny because Victor is doing music. Is it at the music conservatory? He's doing like uplifting bass. So he's really into the music since he has 4. He has 9 now. So yes, he started playing with all the toys in the studio.
Papa,
Tais-toi,
ça
mon
veut dire quoi, métiste?
C'est le nom de mon morceau. Allez, voilà. So,
but what about doing a club track together where he can program some?
Yeah, why not? Why
Everything.
not? But at this time, he's listening also. If you check his playlist on Spotify, because he has already his own playlist, you know, he's listening music in his room, and he's listening like artists that I don't know, but it's still electronic music. So I'm really like impressed, you know.
So we can hope for a Nicolas et Victor.
Yeah,
release.
why not? Yeah, why not? In the future, for sure.
Or maybe you can also team up with Robert's kids, which are not kids anymore. So Robert
Yeah.
has 2 kids. So is that
So
an
look,
idea that
he's
you
going behind.
think
He knows how to play with the
team up?
synths and everything. You know, like yeah, he grew up with this. So
Yeah, my kids also grew up coming to the studio all the time and touching everything. And usually stuff that I was not using, I gave them, connected it, gave them headphones. Okay, do
yeah,
it.
yeah, I do. Honestly, I do the same. He's coming in the studio since he has 3 years old, and he's having fun all the time. He's going programming synths, playing, like having fun, and I mean it's super. For me, if I was like if I was like him back in the days, I would be so happy, you know.
He's doing already something with the Arturia and
Yeah, he knows. Believe me, he
the
knows.
Matrix Brute.
Yeah, it's his favorite one. He loves this one.
Yeah, to come back to the vinyl album, I would like to add something. So when you are planning a vinyl release, you're always thinking about different aspects. And Nico and I, we discussed things like how many vinyls can we put into the package so that people want to pay the price. And then you have the question, how many tracks on one side? And you can put 1 track on a side, you can 2 tracks on a side, you can even put 4 tracks on a side.
Yeah.
But when you, for example, have 4 tracks on a side, then you cannot play them in the club anymore because the volume is very low. And I remember that you had a very long discussion where we said, okay, let's make 2 12 inches.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a good idea not to take all the tracks. And yeah, I'm also sad because Amethyst is a great track, which is one of the best running tracks of the album at the moment, as I can see in the system. And yeah, but what about the remix? Maybe we should
So
also talk about this.
Yeah, so I have friends. I ask like good friends to do a few remixes on the tracks. So this one will be remixed by a guy called Paso Doble. It's a Moroccan guy who's living in Algerian guy living in Montreal in Canada, and he's doing a kind of Afro house, and I love the way he's doing tracks. So I asked him to do something. Oxia will do a remix also. Like he just sent me a new version tonight when we were talking before that I have to listen to tonight after the show. And
by the way,
he's doing Double Visage.
Cool.
Double Visage. And I have also some good friends called Parallels. We will do a nice version of Quantique Sonar. It will be fun, and some other names are coming, but I won't tell everything tonight. You know, you have to be a bit more patient.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, Amethyst should have a good remix for sure.
Yeah.
Very
I'm pretty sure
important.
we'll do something good.
Yeah, there is one comment. I just want to display it here. That's an interesting comment here. The best is 1 track per side on 45 RPM. This is correct. However, how many tracks are on the album?
8.
Okay, and how many tracks are on the entire album?
12.
12? Yeah, 12.
12.
Okay, 12 divided by 2.
I mean 6. 6 vinyl.
That we would have to release your
6
album
vinyl.
on
So expensive,
vinyls.
so much.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah. Who would buy this? I mean,
No. Like I mean,
nobody would buy this.
Yeah. It's like it would be too expensive to spend for a guy to.
Yeah, and it's good to discuss this because it's also nice for the Marotopians who watch us to realize what it's about to being an artist, to be a label, and to find the right decisions in order to to release an album and to release an EP. So there's lots of aspects you have to be in mind. And of course, the greatest way would be to release 6 vinyls in one package, in a big box set for 150 euros in a shop. But how many people would buy this?
No. Back in the days, we had labels who were doing like 6 vinyls, like Cocoon were doing the compilation. But I remember, even the music was good, it was really hard to sell because it was too expensive for people.
Yeah,
you know?
that's always a bit the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert. And we can talk about a 3 vinyl set, which is coming soon, right? We have some news for the people.
Yeah. I have a double vinyl album coming as well.
Nice. 3. Wow.
Oh, 3. Oh, how can
Always forget.
I always forget. 3 vinyl. Yeah, I still wait for my copies. That's the reason. I work like I have something here, then it's reality, or it's not here, then it's not reality. So then my Rob Assets album that we created together with our community, at least a compilation with old tracks of mine, because I'm doing music for a long, long time. And yeah, I remastered the old. It's strange to say to my own music, I made classics, my own classics. Marc gave me the good news. Next week or 16th, right? Marc, give us the news. When it's coming.
Yeah, I'm still waiting myself. I was in contact to my distributor today, and they asked me for a text about the album. I don't know the exact release date. It can also be December the 23rd, but we are getting there. We are very close. And for this streaming show, it's something very special, because at the beginning of the year, we put this album together with the community, and we even asked the people which tracks they want on this 3 12-inch vinyl pack. So I'm really looking forward to the release. So before we leave you, Nico, because I know that you are preparing a journey tonight, because I think you're traveling tomorrow.
Yes.
I would love to listen to one more track of you. And please let the people know what we have in mind.
Oh, we have an unreleased track, okay, called Levante. And it's for next systematic compilation. It's a new one coming next year.
Correct, in May.
And it's a track I really liked. And I'm happy to share this with you. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and now it's really funny. The track is already planned for the vinyl, but I have never asked you what the title is about. Can you tell us a little bit why you called the track like this?
Okay. I released track for your label like a few years ago, like Cleneramante and all these guys. It's all wind names.
Ah, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I learned something.
Yeah.
Like Mistral from
Yeah,
Rodrigo
exactly.
Luna.
Yeah, exactly. It's all wind names.
And
Yeah.
they are all in this area, this winds?
Yeah, all around here or in the world, and it's all wind names here. It's going
But
to.
they're also in your area.
Yeah, also we have in my area. Yeah, and it's coming from a place to another one. I love the movement, and you cannot touch it. So I thought that the names winds we were good for the tracks.
And what's the character of this wind in particular? Do you know that?
Not exactly. I cannot remember exactly, but I think it's a hot winds, like something like that. Yeah.
Wow, Today I learned something.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Then I would say thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure for me. Thanks for the invitation, and it was really nice. Yeah.
And I hope that you guys meet very soon at the
Yeah,
festival.
we have to play. We have to speak about things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Andre, please play Nico's upcoming track. It will just be out in May next year on the Music from Spain. Listen to it first. Enjoy. Thanks, Nico.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
Okay, this is a typical track that I would say that you play in your sets. It's like When I imagine a Marc Romboy DJ set, it's this kind of sound. So you're muted.
I must admit that I'm a big fan of the sound of Nico. And he does also amazing mixdowns. Big fan. They're always
No, it
warm,
sounds good.
really balanced.
Yeah.
And he always tells a story. He has a musical background. He's very musical. He's not just playing one bass line and that's it. So, as a good friend of mine says, there is musically meat at the bone. Yeah, cool.
This was definitely a dance floor, like running forward. Yeah, cool.
I saw one comment of Natalia who was asking for a repress of Utopia. And now that we talk about record company aspects, I remember a few weeks ago, I said here in this show that there are 2 or 3 Utopia vinyls left in our Bandcamp store, and that you have now the chance to buy it before it's too late. And now it's too late. And the thing is, when you press vinyl, you always press them in 300 slices. And before we press the next 300, we need back orders. And minimum 200. And this is why you cannot just say, okay, we press now 50 for, let's say, 50 people who currently want it. So this is why I always say, please, there are just a few records left. And I will do the same with the Rob Asset album. When there are just a few left on stock, I will let you Marotopians know about it so that you are not too late. Same with the Marotopian t-shirts, by the way. They're not so around anymore. So when you want to have a Marotopian t-shirt, then go on the Systematic Bandcamp store and check it out. And I think there's just one cup left, by the way. And then something new is coming up. Okay, let's talk about Rob Asset.
Yeah. I also heard there is a Happy Answer remix. You are even doing remixes for these tracks, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I heard something.
Marotopia started with the idea to create a Rob Asset retrospective album. And for all those who are new in our community, we made this album together. So all of us. And we invited you all to help us with compiling the tracks of the album and also giving the album a name. And the name Asset Chronicles, that's the name of the album, is not from us. It's from you, from the community. And the album is almost finished. I can't wait to announce that it's finished. And I'm pretty sure that you will see that on Rob's and my socials and also on the Instagram page of Esprit de la Jeunesse, the label, which is releasing the album. And it's just a question of days, and then the album will appear on the Bandcamp store, and then finally we can all put them on the records on our turntable. And Happy Ends. That's a very special track. I think it is. Isn't it the first track you ever released as Rob Asset?
Yeah, it was the first Rob Asset release. Before I released under different names, and this was the very first Rob Asset. This is how Rob Asset came into the world. Actually, it was somehow a joke, but I thought because back then the tech, you remember, music, the techno music, I think I made this in 1992. I think I created this track in 1992, and the music was very fast and somehow aggressive, right? I mean, we wanted to be hard, and I loved acid music. Like, I still love it, as you know. Everybody knows I love acid. But I thought, hey, can I make it funny? And I don't know. I even actually the release that I did with this first drop acid was on borrowed equipment that I got from Oliver Bonzo, Hardfloor. He gave me his 303 909 606 for I think 3 weeks. And because we knew each other from the warehouse club where I was going, and he knew my music, and we really connected. And I didn't had a 303. Oh no, it's not true. I had a 303 before, but in that time, but I didn't had my own at home, right? And I created like a lot of tracks, but I had this idea of why the fuck there's no. Oh, I said a bad word. Why on planet Earth there's no funny acid? Because I am a very introvert human, but I like stupid jokes. So I had to do this.
Yeah, and Held, it's still the only Happy 303 track which is still around, because
and that you can sing. You can sing this.
Now the next story. So on one vinyl copy there is an a cappella of the 303 line. So what's the story behind this?
The story was that the guy who signed me back then, Andre Fischer, he loved the track, and we were just partying and take a microphone into hand and sing the track because we had fun.
Can you re-sing it?
And it was funny.
Can you re-sing it?
We have a plan. We have a plan.
Yes, we have a plan, but people maybe don't know the melody. So, do you want to re-sing it now? Now is
no, not now.
Planned.
No. Because I planned something special. I planned something special.
A challenge.
So we want to challenge you guys out there, and we have me and Marc have this idea of you wonderful people, give us a little snippet of this happy answer melody. You can phone record yourself with your whatever you want. It's up to you. And the best one will come on the release.
Yes.
And actually, it should not be like recorded with instruments. No, we want that you sing it, talk it, whatever. Use your voice. We will do it. Something like this.
But that's just a little part. Yeah, that will be a funny story. And I hope that you all have the courage to try it out. You can do it on TikTok or on Instagram or wherever you want. And we want to have the best a cappella on the record. But more soon. Stay tuned.
We will start this soon.
Stay tuned on our socials, and then you can learn about our plans. But what you can do is, when you have the courage to record it on video, just tag Robert Babich and write hashtag happy answer and then record your personal a cappella and put it online. Would be much.
And of course, I will repost every post from you with me tagged. I will repost on my social. So
we will do it as well.
Will do it as well. Be creative. And the best one will come on the Happy Answer Remix edition.
Yes.
That will come out separately.
So you have the chance now. Okay, before we end the show, we have one more gem for you. And Robert, you can... Oh, wait. No. This way. You can now announce our closing track before we say goodbye.
Exactly. So the show was great. Today I was not able to talk too much, but that's fine. We had a great guest. Marc was muting me constantly. That's fine. I accept this.
It was the challenge of today to shut you up.
Keep Robert silent. The closing track for our show today is Remote Kiss. And this is the first, this was the first release of my label Barbage Style back in 2010. And I'm releasing a rework with really cool remixes of this track. And one of the musician of this remixes is our Andre. So I'm very proud. Andre is on my Remote Kiss release, but we will really listen and see the original video right now as a closing track for tonight. Thank you, everyone. You are great. We love you. And
see you next time. Thanks so much.
This was the last show for this year, or should we do one more, or we see us next year?
We will see.
Marc.
Nobody knows.
We will see. Nobody knows.
We will announce.
We love you. We love you.
All the best, dear Marotopians. Thanks for joining us. And now, Remote Kiss by Roberto Babichko. Enjoy.
Bye.